Imagine, for a moment, a celestial predator lurking in the shadows of the universe, silent, enigmatic, and impossibly powerful. This is the black neutron star, a cosmic relic formed from the violent death of a massive star. When such a star collapses under its own gravity, it creates an object so dense that not even light can escape its pull. It becomes an infinitely small point in space, surrounded by a swirling event horizon, a boundary beyond which no information can return. And now, this silent killer is heading straight for our solar system. Narrator, with building intensity. As the black neutron star approaches, it begins to affect the space around it long before it actually reaches our solar system. At first, the outermost edges of our cosmic neighborhood, the Kuiper belt, the Oort cloud, would feel the influence. But these icy objects, distant from our sun, are not immune to the gravitational influence of this rogue stellar body. Their once stable orbits would begin to wobble, as though disturbed by an unseen hand. This subtle disturbance sends shockwaves through the far reaches of space, like ripples in a pond. For us, it would be almost imperceptible at first, but for those who can see the cosmos through the lens of a telescope, it would mark the beginning of something far greater. Narrator, now shifting to a more ominous tone. Imagine now the immense forces at play as the black neutron star continues its journey toward our sun. Its gravitational field grows stronger with every passing moment. As it enters the outer reaches of the solar system, its pull would begin to alter the orbits of our planets, slowly at first, but with a growing intensity. Neptune and Uranus, planets that are far from the sun, would find themselves helplessly pulled in different directions. Their once predictable paths would begin to curve and stretch, changing forever. Even distant Pluto would no longer be able to trace its familiar arc across the night sky, as the black neutron star would continue to influence its trajectory with an almost malicious force. Narrator, with a sense of escalating tension. As the black neutron star approaches the inner solar system, the effects become more dramatic. Now, Earth's orbit is affected. Our planet, which has comfortably orbited the Sun for 4.5 billion years, begins to feel the tug of a gravitational force far stronger than anything we've ever known. Earth's axis starts to tilt. No longer locked in a stable pattern, the planet's position in relation to the Sun is destabilized. Suddenly, seasons are no longer predictable. Summer might arrive early, or winter may last for years. Entire ecosystems would collapse under the strain, as the delicate balance between the Earth's tilt, rotation, and orbit breaks down. Deserts might stretch where forests once thrived, and the polar ice caps could shift, bringing unimaginable floods or droughts to the surface. Narrator, voice rising in urgency. But that is just the beginning of what the black neutron star would bring. The tides, the ocean's regular dance between land and sea, would no longer follow their normal rhythm. As the gravitational field of the neutron star bends the fabric of space-time, the very oceans themselves would rise and fall unpredictably, driven by forces beyond our control. Cities on coastlines, which have survived for centuries, would suddenly find themselves under siege by monstrous tsunamis, towering waves of unimaginable size that rise from the depths like ancient leviathans. Coastal cities such as New York, Tokyo, and London would find themselves helpless against this new, overwhelming force. These waves, fed by the constant shifting of the Earth's crust and oceans, could tear apart civilization as we know it. Narrator, now in a calm, almost reverent tone. And yet, The most profound effect of the black neutron star's approach would be the impact on time itself. Time, as we know it, is not an absolute constant. It bends and stretches in the presence of massive objects like black holes and neutron stars. And as the black neutron star edges closer to the center of our solar system, the very flow of time around Earth would begin to warp. Moments would stretch, days would feel like weeks, while years might pass in what seems like a heartbeat. This distortion of time would not just be a matter of perception. It would fundamentally alter the way we experience reality. The human mind, accustomed to the regular flow of time, would be utterly disoriented. Events would happen at an accelerated rate or drag on endlessly, as the world around us seems to slow down or speed up unpredictably. Narrator, in a hushed, contemplative voice. But even then, the most terrifying possibility of all remains. As the black neutron star reaches its closest point to the Sun, its gravitational influence would become so intense that it could begin to tear apart the Sun itself. Our star, the beacon of light and life for everything in the solar system, would experience a dramatic change. The Sun's stability is based on the balance between the inward pull of gravity and the outward pressure from the fusion reactions in its core. But now, that balance would be thrown into chaos. The neutron star's gravitational force would distort the Sun's shape, pulling on its surface with enough force to cause massive solar flares, far larger and more violent than any we've witnessed before. Narrator, with quiet, growing dread, the Sun, already a volatile furnace of energy, would begin to lose its structural integrity. If the black neutron star were to collide with it directly, the result would be cataclysmic. The Sun would explode into a burst of unimaginable energy, a violent release of radiation and heat that would obliterate the inner solar system, swallowing Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. The shockwave of this stellar death would travel outward, disintegrating everything in its path. All life on Earth, everything we know, everything we've built, would be wiped away in the blink of an eye. The Earth itself, along with the rest of the inner planets, would be torn apart by the sheer power of this cosmic event. Narrator, pausing, voice soft and reflective. But even if the black neutron star does not collide with the Sun, even if it passes by without causing such a catastrophic event, the damage it causes would still be incalculable. The solar system would never be the same. The gravitational balance between the planets would be irrevocably disturbed. Orbits would be altered. The Sun, though it may survive, would be in a weakened state. And Earth, our home, would be forever changed, perhaps not destroyed, but altered in ways we cannot yet fully comprehend. Narrator, with a tone of quiet resignation. In the end, the black neutron star would remind us of the fragility of our existence. We may consider ourselves masters of our world, masters of time and space, but in the vastness of the cosmos, we are but a fleeting speck, our world a small, fragile oasis in the infinite universe. The forces of nature are beyond our understanding, and though we strive to reach out to the stars, we must always be aware of the darkness that lies beyond them.